Hey guys, what's up? It's JR Cuber. Welcome to Cubed Season 8, Episode 2. So we are just going to go ahead and jump right into our monthly Average of 12 / Q&A. For this month, I'm going to be using the Weilong GTS2M Lite version. This is my favorite one of the two GTS2Ms, so we are going to go ahead and use this cube for this Average of 12. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So the first question comes from Sam H. What do you think the easiest Rubik's Cube mod is for beginner modders? So I mean, ultimately one of the easiest mods you could probably ever do is something like a Siamese cube, but something that actually requires like some materials and a little bit of skill, probably something like a Fisher cube. You're gonna have to work with filling pieces, extending pieces with that mod, and I think it's a great one for beginners because it teaches you a lot about what you need to know for modding a puzzle well. So yeah, I would have to go with a Fisher cube or maybe something like an octagonal barrel, which is like the first step of a Fisher cube. I don't know. Nathan has a lot of really great videos on beginner mods that are really easy to make if you're just starting out, so you can check that out if you're interested. Sawyer Morgan, what advice do you have for people going to their first competition? So I thought this would be a fitting question since I am going to a competition this Saturday. And so as for advice for first timers, I would really recommend reading the regulations. That should be a no-brainer, but a lot of people don't do it. And being familiar with the regulations is going to help you out a lot, as well as it's going to make the jobs of the delegates and all the organizers a lot easier. And it just makes the competition run more smoothly if everyone just knows what they're doing. Other advice I would give is just to not be nervous to talk to people. Cubers are really nice people, so you shouldn't be worried at all to just go up and talk to people. And overall, just enjoy yourself. Don't worry about being too fast or too slow. It's not really all that much about speed. Competitions are just about meeting people and having fun. So that's the best advice I can give right there. DT Cubes, where do you see magnetic cubes in 2 years if they still exist? So I would think in 2 years, if magnetic puzzles were still around, it would probably be like a specification option when you go to buy a new puzzle. Like I would think that like every single new puzzle that comes out would have magnets in it, and it would almost be like choosing a white puzzle or a black puzzle. Like you could choose to have magnets or no magnets, and it would just be like as easy as that to get a magnetic puzzle or not. Also, I'm sure the price will come down a fair bit, and I would imagine that magnetic puzzles would be, you know, maybe only a couple dollars more than normal puzzles. Also, there would probably be a way to like choose which magnetic strength you would want. We're already seeing that with the GTS2, but I think that might be another specification option, and have several different options of what strength you want for your magnets. I don't know. I think that magnetic puzzles are here to stay, so I'm really interested to see what is going to happen in the future with implementing magnets into puzzles. Ben Sandelin, why is there no even layer cube bigger than 10 by 10? Why do you think that Moyu went right to 13 from 11 and is now going to 15 from 13? Do you think it's because an even layer cube that big is too difficult, or if it's just impossible? So it's definitely not impossible, and honestly I don't know if I can answer this question, because I wonder why something like a 12 by 12 hasn't been released yet, because the 13 by 13 has been out for a long time, and the 13 by 13 is basically the same mechanism as a 12 by 12 would be. It would use the same mechanism. So the only thing I can think of is that it's harder to produce, or it's harder to assemble, maybe because of all of these smaller pieces. I'm not entirely sure what the reason is though, because I know that Moyu is working on a 15 by 15, but a 15 by 15 would be a completely new design, so it seems like it would be easier to make a 12 by 12 from the 13 by 13 design rather than make a 15 by 15. But what I'm thinking is that odd layer puzzles are just easier to produce for any number of reasons, and so that's the reason why we haven't really seen a lot of higher order even layer puzzles. Anyway, those are all the questions I can answer today. If you had a question that didn't get answered or a new question, you can leave it in the comments down below. Alright, so that was a 1454 average of 12, pretty much average for me. There was a bit of a variation there. The beginning solves were all really good, and then the middle solves were pretty bad, and then the ending solves were okay. So there's a bit of a mix of all kinds of times there. Anyways, I really like the performance of this GTS2M Lite. Anyways, that's about it for this monthly average 12 / Q&A. Let's go ahead and move on to the challenge. So this month's challenge comes from SQ Cuber, and he challenged me to solve a 3x3 by only using U, U2, and U3 moves, so no U prime, which is a bit of an interesting challenge. It's kind of like a restrictive challenge, which I really like those kind of challenges. So anyway, we are going to go ahead and attempt this. So we can't do any U primes, and we can only do, so basically we can only just do U moves. That's the only thing we can do. So with that said, let's go ahead and try this out. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. So we got a sub 2-minute solve, which I am pretty happy with, 1:57. Basically, I did the last layer doing beginner's method because I figured that in the end it would end up being faster, and it was. So SQ Cuber got 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which means I win this challenge. So I feel like I haven't won a challenge in a while. I may be wrong about that. Maybe my memory's off a little bit, but yeah, it feels good to win a challenge again. Anyway, thanks to SQ Cuber for sending in the challenge. If you guys would like to submit a challenge for next month, then record a video of yourself doing the challenge and then leave a link to that video in the comments of this video. It will get marked as spam, but that will allow me to easily filter out all of the comments with links in them, and that will allow me to see your entry more easily. Anyways, that's how you can submit a challenge for next month, and that is all for this month's challenge. Alright, so on to cubing news. We're going to be going over all of the puzzles that released in the month of May, as well as all of the world records that were broken this month. So starting off with new puzzles, first up we've got the Lan Gear 3x3 hexagonal die pyramid. So this is just basically a shape mod of a normal gear cube into a hexagonal die pyramid, which is kind of like the halfway point between a 3x3 and an axis cube. So I'm wondering if someone with a greater modding ability than I have will be able to modify this into a gear axis cube, which I think would be really, really cool. Next up, we've got the Shengshao Megamorphics. So this is a mass-produced Megamorphics. It's only in stickerless, and it looks really, really nice. So next up, we've got the Z Axis Cube, which looks like basically just a cheap knockoff of the official Axis Cube, plus this one only has one color, which is really strange because the Axis Cube is supposed to have 6 colors like a normal 3x3. That's really weird because each piece is not unique on an Axis Cube, so I don't know, there would be multiple solve states if every single piece was the same color, so that's a bit strange, but there you go. Then we've got the Very Puzzle Clover Octahedron. So this is the next installment in the Clover series. There's also another version of this octahedron called the Clover Octahedron Fragmentation. So it looks like it's basically the same thing as the octahedron, but it's been cut in more ways, so it can shapeshift in more ways and all that kind of stuff, just scramble more, which is pretty cool. Next up, we've got the cube style carbon fiber Megaminx. So this looks like a lot of the stickerless carbon fiber puzzles that have come before it, and now there's a Megaminx. So that's pretty cool. Then we've got the 2x2 Time Machine, or the Smaz Time Machine. This is a really fascinating puzzle that was around like several years ago, back more like when I started cubing, and it's kind of been discontinued for a long time, but it looks like it's finally back, which is really cool to see. Then we've got the Yushin Love Treasure Box 3x3, which looks like it's kind of similar to Oscar's treasure chest, but it's specifically designed for like proposing to someone. It's got like a spot for a ring inside. So that's one that's definitely not for everybody, but for just those few people who may need a puzzle like that. Then we've got the X-Man Volt Square 1. So I'm actually going to be unboxing this pretty soon, which is going to be really exciting. I have never unboxed a Square 1 on my channel before, so that'll be fascinating. Then we've got the YJ Guanxi 6x6, which is new 6x6 from YJ. Only comes in black, which is kind of interesting. Then we've got the Moyu Weilong GTS2M. So unlike the GTS2M from Cubicle Labs, this one is an official mass-produced magnetic version of the GTS2. So I'm not sure how different this one will be from the Cubicle Labs one, but I've heard that the magnets are a bit different, so that's pretty cool that we're seeing a mass-produced magnetic puzzle. I think that's really cool. So then we've got the Shangshao Legend 4x4, which looks like a budget 4x4 from Shangshao, again only in black, which is pretty interesting. I don't know why there aren't more colors, but maybe those will be coming in the future, I'm not sure. Anyways, next up we've got the Whit Eden Super 2x2x4 cuboid. So unlike the regular 2x2x4, this one has got like circles cut into the top and bottom, and that's because it is based off of the 2x2x6 mechanism. Next up we've got the YJ Guanlong Pyraminx. This is a budget Pyraminx from YJ. It is $6. Then we've got the cube style carbon fiber Master Morphix. So once again, this is another one of those carbon fiber stickerless puzzles, and this one is a Master Morphix. And now the final puzzle for this month, we've got the Shangshao Giga Morphix. So this is a 5x5 Master Morphix puzzle, and I'm not super sold on the Giga Morphix name. I kind of prefer the name that Tripoom gave this puzzle, which is the Ultra Morphix. But either way, this is a 5x5 Master Morphix puzzle that's been mass produced. I'm super excited to unbox this one. I have been a big fan of the Morphix puzzles ever since Crazy Bad Cuber unboxed them on his channel from Tripoom, so I'm really excited to see that they're starting to get mass produced now. I hope they continue to go up and mass produce bigger ones. That would be really exciting, but right now this one only comes in stickerless, and I definitely will be unboxing this soon. Anyways, that's all for cube releases. Let's go ahead and move on to world records. So on to world records for this month. First up, we have got Square 1 single broken by Nathan Dwyer with a time of 5.88. That is really impressive for Square 1, considering I don't even know how to solve Square 1. I don't even know how that's possible, but that is super impressive. Congrats to Nathan Dwyer for that. Next up, we've got 7x7 single broken by Wong Kin Lok. Probably got that very wrong, but anyway, he broke that with a single time of 2 minutes 14 seconds 0.55. Then we've got Megaminx single broken by Juan Pablo Wanqui. He broke the single time with a 31.53. Also with Megaminx getting pretty close to an official sub 30 single, which is also going to be very cool to see. Finally, we've got Rubik's Clock average broken by Tyron Zhang, something like that. Not sure at all about that pronunciation, but he got an average of 5.23. So congratulations to him for getting that on Rubik's Clock. That's another one of those obscure events that I don't know how to solve, but yeah, so those are all the records that were broken this month. If you guys would like to purchase any of the cubes that I talked about in this video, the links will be in the description. Also, if you guys would like to see the world record videos for any of the world records that were broken, the links will be in the description for those as well. So that's all for this month's episode of Cubed. If you guys liked this video, make sure to give it a like. Links to all of my social media and my Patreon pages are down in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.